the Chabad House, probably sitting around the kitchen table with the Holtzbergs, were Norma Schwarzblatt-Rabinovich, a 50-year-old Mexican citizen who was traveling in India and intended to make Aliyah 3 days later to join 2 of her 3 children who had already immigrated to Israel. Yocheved Orpaz, a 62-year-old mother of 4, was in India visiting her daughter and 2 grandchildren. Her friends described her as having a huge heart. Reb Leibish Teitelbaum, a 37-year-old father of 8, the oldest of which just turned bar mitzvah, the youngest just a few months old, living in Mea Shearim in Yerushalayim. A student of the Satmar Yeshiva in Williamsburg and Montreal, he was respected as a Torah scholar and halachic authority. He would often represent his father, the Volav Rav, who was a respected kosher supervisor. Reb Zion Kroman, 28, a father of 3, ages 5, 2, and 8 months, utilized every spare moment for Torah. He was in India for kosher inspections. With his smile and charm, he'd have a warm word for everyone he met. In an incredible display of unity and caring, Jews across time zones and affiliations gathered in prayer for their brethren trapped in a building continents away, and for all the hostages and victims across the city. Suddenly, a moment of hope in the midst of the darkness. On Thursday morning, Sandra Samuel, a worker in the center who had been hiding in a room on the first floor, heard baby Moshe crying out for his parents. Risking her life, she ran upstairs and found the boy walking around, his clothing stained with blood. She grabbed the baby and ran for safety. One day dragged into 2, and then a 3rd. Indian Army commandos finally stormed the Chabad House as the world held its breath. A pair of tzitzis were waved from a window as millions of people sat glued to their screens. The prayers around the world intensified, but the answer was not the one that had been so desperately hoped for. The Jewish people have had no shortage of tragedy. In times of unfathomable loss in recent history, the Rebbe would state that it is not the job of a human to explain or justify God's doings. In 1992, a young mother was killed in Crown Heights.
Jüngere Mutter, was mit großen kleinen Kindern, aber die kleinen Kinder nach Bändchen, Lachli, kamen schon in den Jahren und dann lariches Jahr schon im Tevis, Has schon ist es noch verhalten der Minen und ein Kitzel ran und Schächen in Joffer und die haben den Bändchen nicht. Und noch sehr Mutter und ihre Kinder, die haben sehr Kinder, der Bändchen nicht und der Mann ist. Und der Mutter, was sehr noch ist, bei ihr gewähnt der Linie von Kiddush Hashem beraten. Was kommt alles, als man hat eine Schale und man hat eine dürfliche Menschen. Das, was der Ewigkeit will haben, nachher Sluch, von Messias Nefesh Bechuhu, es soll genug Messias Nefesh, because Agid gefühlt sich in Golos. Wir finden sich in Golos und weiß, dass der Herrscher von 1900 Jahren von Golos war dein Leben Boah. Und als geht durch und noch ein Tag und noch ein Tag und noch eine Woche und noch eine Woche und noch eine Regel und noch eine Regel. Und beschaß mir sagt Atmosphäre, ich schreibe mir Atmosphäre, mir sagt Atmosphäre, mir sagt Atmosphäre, und Chule, was kommt da alles Befehl, beschaß Befehl, kommt zu noch eine Linie von Kiddush Hashem Bebachtes. Aber man nimmt zu einer jüdischen Nishome, man nimmt es zu von ihren Kindern, weil das ist aber eine Genital Mutter, noch mehr Messias Nefesh, wie beschaß letztlich mit Messias Nefesh von ihr allein, beschaß letztlich auch mit Messias Nefesh, als sie es Mafkir, und die Kinder aneinander, die Achino von ihren Kindern, das soll getan werden, durcheinander, wo das Messias Nefesh. Wenn du gehst zur Mutter, dann Messias Nefesh, doch Lamailo mit Messias Nefesh.
While it is not our job to explain, it is our job to act. At each outrage, the Rebbe would firmly and patiently counsel that even the most depraved situation must be cultivated to make something positive come of it. In 1954, 5 school children and their teacher were murdered by terrorists in their classroom in Kfar Chabad, Israel. The Rebbe urged the people of the village to build and grow. He sent a group of 10 student emissaries to encourage and uplift the people of Israel. He said that every person must make their mark through their own lives, and Klal Yisrael together must make a difference through building institutions. In 1960, an earthquake flattened the entire city of Agadir, Morocco. Lubavitch institutions that had thrived in the destroyed city were no more, and many students and teachers perished in the tragedy.
Und als ich hatte die Geta-Welt noch gehabt, wir hätten schon, wir haben schon mal mitgekriegt, aber dann die Geta-Riegel in einer Meine gemacht. Und dann ist ziemlich viel, da wir die ganze Zeit der Stoff von Malte an Stehen, am Stellflug in Stehen, die Kammer, letztlich die Talmide, Stellflug an der Riegel, und dann schon was lesen, über Schiffier, nicht da, mit dem, was wir da setzen, bei der Lebensstimme, an den Schotten, Theoten dazu, an dort sein, nicht in der Leben von Lexos, die an Nachtsowie, da sein, mit der Stimmvoll, mit Jungen Wort, und beherrscht überraschen, also mit der Fehler, Stimmvoll, mit Schotten, die Korridor, mit seinen Leben, und der Ike, making that in the Lende, und das auch sein, arrivo die Kammer, arrivo die Echos, bieten an Echos, und Charakter, Jono, Bakegno, Sapena, Vanervo, bieten alle, Apele, Sameno,
If a group of young terrorists can band together and turn the world upside down through evil, how much can millions of mitzvahs achieve? If a gunshot can echo from one continent to another within seconds, how quickly and how far then? Their sacrifice captured the imagination of people across the world. Without communicating with one another, the next morning several parents in different countries decided to name their newborn baby daughters Rivka, after Rivka on various continents announced new institutions. Kiddush Hashem, sanctifying God. This, they decided, is what those who had them as they looked down from above. And hundreds of thousands stepped forward to do a mitzvah, to light up the darkness through a Shabbos candle, through putting on tefillin, through helping another Jew do a mitzvah, thereby becoming a shliach on their own.